Hey everyone, this is Lindsay. In this tutorial, I'm going to be going over how to pay commissions based on a percentage of a flat rate. So to show you guys what that means, first I want to take you to our default rate sheet. To get there, you're going to start on your Utilities tab and go right over here and choose Default Rate Sheet. And once we're on this screen, I want to show you your resource rate column. And now this is where you would put the rate that you want your resources percentage to come from. So they're going to be getting a percentage of whatever number is in this column. Keep in mind that the resource rate can be the same or different than your attorney rate. That's completely up to you. But that column is where the percentage of that commission would be coming from. That's where it's going to be based off of. So the next place I want to take you to is our resources column and just briefly show you where you would add in that percentage for each individual resource. I'm just going to choose one of my resources as an example. And over here on the top right you see your commissions text field. So this particular reporter is going to be receiving 80% of whatever the rate is in that resource rate column I showed you previously. Another thing to note on this page is you can choose to do a bill out for this resource, and now the bill out means that you're going to pay your resource before you receive payment on that invoice. So once again, that's completely up to you. If you're using this commission criteria, that bill out will just allow you to pay that resource before you get paid for the invoice. So now I'm going to go over to an invoice that I've created for this reporter, and I just want to show you all what that invoice would look like based on the criteria that we've entered for her commissions. Here we've got our two line items. We have the attorney rate listed there, and next to it we have our resource rate. And keep in mind this resource rate is what the percentage commission is based off of. We're going to move over to the Payments tab. On the Payments tab, you have the Invoice Amount column. And keep in mind, this is the invoice total. This is not the commission total. Right over here, we've also got our rep percentage column. And if you'll remember, we gave this reporter an 80% commission off of that resource rate that was entered for those line items, which will then bring her commission total to $368. We can tell that this is all correct by the commissions calculation box at the bottom, and that's just going to show you based off of the invoice amount next to the resource name, based off of her commission percentage and the rates that were in place, her commission does come out correct. So finally, I'm going to take you all to the commissions due and the pay commissions reports to show you what that would look like and how you would pay the reporter based on these criteria and with the bill out that we've set in place for her. So here we're on the resource commissions due report. I've already chosen the resource name, so I'm going to go ahead and hit preview. Here you can see we have the invoice amount. We also have the percentage amount that we based that commission off of. And then we have the commission total amount. Down below you'll notice we have the bill out shown as well for $368 for all of the commissions. But just keep in mind if the bill out is ever set to no, that the invoice must be paid for the commission to appear on this report. So now let's go to the pay commissions report and go ahead and get our resource paid. Choose the resource name and click preview. Here you see we have our invoice shown. It is already checked to be paid. You can go ahead and this is your last step in double checking all of the amounts. You can go ahead and hit approve checked items and confirm and print when you're finally ready to pay the resource. So this was just one of a few different options within repagencyworks of how to pay your resource commissions. We also have tutorial videos lining out the other options available as well. As always, if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call.